What is up, everyone? This will be my Ambessa jungle video, and we're gonna go over everything you need to know about this new champion, who I think can be a very good jungler. For starters, her win rate obviously is very low, but the big thing about it is she's extremely new champion, which high amounts of mechanics added to her kit that you really just have to keep playing to get to understand. So here, obviously, the enemy team is just wasting a lot of time. My team AFK bot side, it don't matter. Well, a prime example of what just happened there was actually, I guess he's not gonna leash me. I'll solo raptors here. A prime example is using your Q. You get two parts to it. You just have to hit an enemy with the initial part for your Q to actually take effect. So here, for example, I would hit the Q and I'll use the dash mechanic. And that just kind of enables you to utilize those mechanics. Her clear is healthy, so don't worry about being low at all. And important things to note is your E, two parts to it. The champion itself is a very heavy mechanical champion. She's kind of like AD Callista. So when you're playing her, just kind of remember that you need to use a lot of those buffer mechanics. So here, the way her abilities kind of work is you can input a move between autos. So you're going to move with your auto attacks. So every time you cast a spell, you can move kind of like Callista dashing. So here, E, auto clack, move. You're just going to be needing to kind of input these commands if you want to get the most value out of it. And the dashes aren't actually doing any damage, right? They're empowering your autos. So you don't necessarily have to hit people with these dashes, as you can see. That E part, though, it does do extra damage because your E has two parts to it. It's the initial dash and then the secondary dash, which usually you want to use this initially to get into range to use your Q. And that's how you kind of want to combo. So you're going to use your E to get into range. Can't really go over walls, but that's usually how you want to combo. Your W is just exact same thing. Everything in your kit dashes you, but it won't dash you unless you input a movement command right after using the spell. So here I'll auto attack E and into the direction, and then it'll cast a movement command there. Same thing with my Q. You can pretty much get two dashes off your Q. Your W will focus you, and then you can choose the direction you want to dash to. Moral of the story is lots of dashes and very important abilities that you need to learn how to utilize. There actually didn't Q hit. A big part of this champion, you need to hit the initial Q because the second Q hits harder. So it's very important for you to remember your priority is to get into range with your E and then hit this initial Q. And the second Q is a point in a line ability that we're going to talk about. So her clear overall, you know, I had a really rough cheese initially, so it affected my clear. But here we can see we're not really affected that much at the later part. So here Q, auto attack, E into another W. You know, a full combo like that would do a lot of damage. Your survivability is much heavy. You're much more entwined between your survivability on your ability. I'm gonna get revenge on this little dog, by the way. So I want to see how he plays his base timer. Does he base or does he just greed? Personally, I think he's gonna greed here. And all the dashes we're able to utilize as much as possible. Help this guy push out the wave. And I'm always, when I'm initially initiating with my abilities, you always are starting with the E dash, right? The E1 is important. It does less damage. It's more about slowing, hitting people and slowing. And a lot of your damage is, it's going to be into your Q. So builds, a lot of builds are popular. Personally, I think I'm really big on this item right here. I'm really voltaic cycle sword. I actually really this item. I think on her it's extremely broken. After this, I go Spear Sojourn, usually into like a bruiser build with Death Stance, blah blah blah. So I really like this build option. Here I'm gonna be looking to help my team. Looks like Lux might be here a bit later. Well, my goal is to just farm, right? So I always start with my E into the Q, to the second Q, into W. And ganks, I mean, your ganks aren't that great, I'm gonna be honest. That first initial gank was very much a lucky one. Here I could see if there's a potential, you know, like Vi solo and dragon. So what we're gonna do is hit the plant here to see if she's on dragon or not. If she's not on dragon, that's good for us. I'm gonna swing through mid to cross sides here. Just kind of proc his spells. I want to see a mouse force ulti, but there's a pink here, so we have to clear. Bot's losing, and I don't think I'm going to do anything about that. So what I'm going to do is just cross mid here. You can see all the mechanics with the abilities crossing. You move so quickly. And this is a problem. Malzahar's 6 and he's... Vi might be on this side. And the reason we know this is because Vi's not on Dragon. And she initially showed she was top side or bot side earlier. So you can kind of deduct that there's a high probability Vi's around here. And I don't mind 1v1ing Vi right now. But I'm more concerned about Malzahar level 6 moving. So I have to think about that. So right now we're in the situation. There's 50% chance she's on Void Grubs. If she's not here, then that's really good for us. It means more likely that she might be playing for Dragon. And that's good for us. If this guy moves left, we have to be very careful. If he doesn't, then we're in a good position. And this just tells me that Vi is most likely just on the Dragon side. She most likely... Oh, she's actually here. This is really good for us then. I'm actually going to start this because I have moved priority by my teammates. The R was a bit early. I'm gonna heal up fast here. Let my boy grab some fruit too. We get a W here. I think we can get a kill. Real spicy. I do really want to one-shot one though. Vi could be lurking, so I have to be fast about that. She got her 6, but she has no flash. She's kind of stuck. I just need my boy to come, my Vigar. He has no mana as well. So I might just have to give that up, unfortunately. He might go on Vigar here. He's not really strong. I need Senna here. I got the Vigar, or I got the Vi, plus I got the Grub. So it's honestly not that bad. So close to 6. If I got 6 there, I actually killed both of them. So here, do I go top side or do I go bot side for my jungle? Getting 2 out of 3 Void Grubs, obviously very important. It's just unfortunate I wasn't able to get 6. And here I always kind of use my E to travel. My Q... Remember, you only get the second part of your Q if you hit an enemy with it. It doesn't have to be a champion, it just has to be an enemy. And the second part is a very important thing. But what's really cool is you saw how I was able to juke by Q really easily with my move, just generally my mobility. And honestly, this champion is weak early game. Like, this champion is much stronger later on. Like, the second you get 6, you're pretty much twice as strong as you were before because of the passive effects you get on this. So now, like... Getting through the early game till 6 is quite hard in my opinion. So I'm really happy that we're able to get 2 kills. And we're starting to kind of itemize well into our first item. I'm going to get the crab. My bot side's obviously, there's not much we can do about losing bot lane. It's a very traditional thing. And the W shield is just going to give you that bit of survivability that you might lack. Most of your damage is in your Q. And with the ulti combination, your ulti is amazing, by the way. I love this champion. It just sucks that she gets banned so often. I do think she's really strong, but she's a scaling champion. If you pick her even top lane, if you think she's good early game, she's not good early. She is heavily designed for level 6. Her 6 is really broken. And she scales really well as time goes on. Personally, I think he just has to proc his thing. Just proc it, my man. Should be able to kill him here. I'm gonna go on Vi next. Remember to utilize all our dashes as much as possible. But there I just have my R ready to go, and the R was a really important ability. Juke as much as you can. Let's hit a champion. Hit anything you have that empowered Q. Not really empowered, but it's kind of Q's in more of a line. This one does kind of like the arc slash. And once you hit that initially, it's going to do more of the line thing. Here, I'm going to just go CDR boots. Honestly, boots, it's really up to you want to build. I personally just buy cheap boots. And if I want armor boots, MR boots later, maybe I'll sell them. But right now, cheap boots are just fine for me. Thing is, if you don't weave in autos with your passive, you're going to run out of energy. This champion doesn't have mana or anything, but she has energy. And she is insanely reliant on energy. If you do not weave in your autos while you're casting your spells, you're pretty much going to run out of your energy, which is really unfortunate. So here I see a fight happening, so I want to head over there ASAP. And the goal is the same. If we can start with our E, it's quite nice, right? So we want to get on them with our E. And then once we go on them, keep autoing down. And there are actually E flash onto them to get the initial E slow. And I always want to start with the, unless I can charge like maybe a Q on a minion. If you're missing out on the second Q part, you're missing out on a lot of damage. You don't have realistically that much damage even in your kit without the thing I just talked about. This is actually really good. How we're going to start this is we're going to start with our E. Get into range, Q him, hit the second Q, W auto, right? Very easy. He actually had flash in that situation too, but we were able to just chase him down like nothing. And it really just understand you need to weave a lot of abilities in. R, yes, I can R right away, but you don't have to R right away as well. I think Vi's in here. I actually messed that up here. Okay, my R, I think I messed. How did I miss that? Spear Sochin is really good. This is going to be the item that gives you their survivability. I could have smited too. I was hoping to get a grubby off that. Also, don't all in that situation. Nasus is strong, but Galio Top is having, you know, a vacation this game, but it's okay. I really am stronger than Vi at every point from this on, but the problem is it's not going to be 1v1. I'm going to have to deal with their soloing dragon, really. And another one soloing that. No way, that's illegal. What? Do not let them get this. For the love of God, I'm coming. Oh, you last hit it for them. I'm on the way here. We should kill them. I don't know if Malzahars are, but I'm definitely going to kill the Swain. I think Sivir is here, so I'm going to see if I can find her. Make sure you don't jump out of the brush by accident. You can easily buffer that ability. So I'm just moving a bit slow here. I think diving her is really good for us. So we just have to get the wave going. Now I'm just going to run her down. Slap her down. Really heavy about auto attacks. Really play around your auto attacks as well. Okay, 2 flashes is not that bad. I wanted to help them, but I should have just left. Malzahar was going to come anyways. I'm pretty dead in that situation. Your ultimate costs no energy, so you can ulti at any point, but you don't really want to be engaging with your ulti. If you can, you have so much mobility in your kit. If you can get on them without having to cast ulti, especially for ganks, you don't really want to use your ulti. It's something you want to use maybe later on. But for team fights, yes, you're probably going to have to use your ulti more to get in. But just think about it as more of like a situational thing. Vargar is farming well. And I need moments to farm, but this guy is asking to die. So I'm going to speed up myself a little bit and use a bit some of my spells. So I'll be able to shut him down here if he's playing for tower. So the goal is to just get on top of him quick. Also need to wait for his ulti to time out because it's really annoying. This is just a free thing now. He'll probably try to play for it. R now, and boom. The cool thing about your R is actually you can get another dash in with your R. So let's say if I cast my R, it technically counts as an ability buffer because of your spell passive, right? You can jump after every spell, but you're not going to jump from where you casted it. You're going to jump from where you're going to land with your ulti. So same way with your E. And then when you're doing like objectives, just practice how you're going to be jumping, right? It's really important to practice your sort of ability comboing. This champion is all about mobility. You're all about chasing with the people. And it may not feel comfortable at first, but over time it feels really good. I really have to farm, right? I haven't really spent much time farming. I'll have my Spirit Sojourn by soon. And your W is just a shield, and if you put it in a direction, it'll hit a bit harder on champions, right? So it's not nothing really crazy. It's not that much damage. Think about your shield. W is like just mostly a shield and more dashes to chase around. We really need some movement here, guys. It's actually a really good fight. Damn it, I should have reset the fight a bit and then went back in. The Swain support is surprisingly tanky. We're able to get some kills off that. Silver might die. Nope. From here on, we have to build itemization for more defense to know which defense stat we need heavily. Enemy team is pretty honestly mixed. Most likely we're going to go into the Death Stance. So Death Stance we're going to build into. I really like DD, especially on her, because you really are about surviving with your spell vamp. You pretty much get 20% armor pen and heal vamp, which is really nice. This is illegal, and we should punish that. Low already. We got it anyways. The problem is the Swain for me personally. I might die here if I really want this red. The shield is really, you have a good amount from the shield. So it's nothing like really bad. You're gonna heal. It's gonna buy you a lot of time when you're shielding, but you're not really using it initially. Once the damage starts to kick in, you want to use it. I personally think I can easily carry this game. I think I'm really strong. Remember the walls, you can't really go over them. Or else you'd be pretty OP. So you just have to rely on getting into the range with the E, hit the Q, W. Beautiful. Obviously you can W into them, get a bit more damage, but just be aware of the situation. Personally, with my ulti up, I really want to fight. Beautifully done by your boy, Inori. And you see, I was just weaving in. I didn't ulti till way later, right? Like the ulti, it's really good for repositioning and stuff like that. You're going to struggle a bit if you rely heavily on it, or, you know, engaging in situations. It's a lot of survivability you're going to be getting from it. So don't be shy about it. They do have Hex gates, so you have to watch out for that. This guy doesn't have R. He's actually a very easy kill if we have some people here. Just get out. There's too many people around. Remember, just keep the chase up. This guy has no R. We always want to chase in the direction we think they may escape from. Very nice. I'm just spamming my spells, honestly. But I'm not spamming them in a way that I feel like, okay, what am I doing? No, I'm always E'ing initially, right? Like when I'm trying to close the gap, it's always the E, right? Because the two-parter, it's going to initially slow. The Q has to hit on the enemy. You can use the Q to flap close, but it's more effective to make sure you get the Q to hit the champion, because you get the second part of the Q, which is, in my opinion, the more important part. It does a lot of damage. Your Q does that max health damage. The second one does a lot of damage. I have smite for this one, so I'm not too worried about smiting it. So now this is why I told you I feel really strong. I feel like I'm really mobile. Enemy team, I'm going to scale really hard. I do have to worry about, you know, like perhaps Nasus stat checking me, but as long as we don't have, like, we don't take terrible fights, I think this game is just really, really free. So here I want to fight Swain. I always love personally just killing the enemy support when he tries to like deep ward and stuff. Personally, I think it's just the best way to kill. But you have to kind of be ready for it, and your team has to be around. If I try to kill that support there, it may have other problems around. Personally, I think this guy is extremely weak and killable because of how strong I am. Mostly because he has MR while we have mostly AD. Did he really deep ward here? I think no. I think he's just waiting. Personally, I think the Galio needed to go. We're too late now. We can play for tower and we can dive. They're all on bot side, so I wanted to prioritize pushing the lane that may be a problem. Like Nasus is someone who may be a problem for us. But getting deep wards would be really extremely good here too. Now I just want to chase the mid laners who are really overextending here. So they don't have to do anything, just have to wait for me, Daddy Inori, to come. And just like that, I was able to kind of hit the second R. Obviously, the Sivir was way too far away, so I initially had to R there. I'm going to use everything because I really want to catch up here. And it's not so much important for my energy as it is to just kill her. So I want to defend the inhib. Blue buff helps your energy regen. So like I'm spamming a lot more than you can get away with if you did not have blue buff. So just remember, blue buff is really good. It's even better than a lot of things. But this first item, by the way, I think a lot of people inting on her by not having this item, especially as jungle, because you're not really going to kill people without this item. You are weaving. Most of your damage is your Q and your autos, pretty much. So trust me, you're weaving a lot of autos in. When I'm dashing, I'm always trying to auto because you're only allowed to stack up so much of your dashes to power up your auto attacks. So you always weave between spell jumps. Like if I'm jumping, I'm always trying to get an auto off in my jumps. Here I E-auto as I'm buffering the mechanics. And from here, I mean, I do have my Asterics. Like I said, Maw, I look at this comp and I say Maw is not that good for me. I need Asterics and I'm just going to go for it. Mostly because they have a lot of physical damage that really could obliterate me. And if I need a MR item, honestly, I'm not really sure which MR item I would want. Usually you're forced into like going into like a tank MR item, which is Spear Visage generally. I think Swain might come ward here, then we can kill him. He's already here. There you can see I was actually, even though I missed my R initially, I was still almost able to chase them with that extra dash component. Personally, I think this is illegal. We should fight them here. If Vigar can keep the Nasus at bay, no way I lost that. I think they're fine here. You Swain. You dragon. Have you ever seen an independent black female champion? Yeah. Superior to the dragon. Much superior. I think you scale extremely hard. Like, she's one of the most insane scaling champions in the game. She just has a very weak early game. Like, that's why I think jungle is really nice, because you can just kind of avoid that early game. There I just R because, you know, if there's CC coming to hit you, R'ing is sort of like a buffer. We talked about buffering spells. It like locks you down a bit. No way this person's actually going for this. She actually got out. That's what's crazy. Remember, you can auto minions to kind of stack up your rage again. But your Q has to hit a champion. It has to hit a champion. See, now that I had nothing to auto, nothing to hit, you see how I'm just pretty much out of energy. That's going to happen if you just randomly spam spells. I'm gonna heal quick on my red. Whatever jungle camps are up. And I'm just gonna keep farming. You really need farm. Like, if you want to win these games, you have to keep farming. It's just very important. Jungle in general. And I do think I need MR. I feel like I'm in a position where MR is quite important for me. So I'm just gonna go into this component right now. The blue buff extreme. Honestly, blue buff better than red buff on her because she's an energy champion. So just remember that blue is really good. So don't give away blue buffs. I love playing for blue buffs. So I'm just going to kill this blue fast. We're giving up mid-wave, which is a sin. I don't know why we're just giving up mid-wave. So I'm just going to grab it. Personally, I think we just go down mid and fight them on mid-wave. I think that's the best way to go about it. I might just kill Malzahar real quick here. Looks like he's pushing wave without any vision, which is easy for me to pick off. Actually went too far this way. It's a mistake. Oh, I messed that up. Oh, I went the wrong path. I should have went up, not down. This guy's so cocky. They can't really do Baron, so we're in an okay spot for now. But they're flanking. First, I think Viagra should just take that. It's good they're not on Baron. They're actually on Dragon, so we can actually do Dragon and then go straight to Baron right after. My R will be back up. Your R is easy to juke. It's not. It's a line spot. People will try to juke it, so just remember that. I'm gonna ward inside the pit and look for possible angle here. They're actually off of it. Have to R here. Ooh. Remember, chasing people down, what do? We use our E initially. She's too fast. Okay, switch targets. She might give us an E dash here, though. Energy's low now. Damn, that's the thing. If she's faster than you on this champion, you're dead. Because you have no one to auto, no minion wave. You're just going to get permakited. That's why I really love this item, because it guarantees you that auto slow. That's a showcase of weakness. Out of energy because you have nothing to auto. Champions that are faster than you, you're going to run into that issue, unfortunately. But if I wasn't going to go MR this game and I wanted to go like more into like, you don't really need armor pen on this champion because your R literally gives you 30%. You could go with like cleaver or something, but most likely I'd probably just pick something to help me be more beefier. The last item generally is flexible. Sometimes I go GA too. GA would be quite good here. We actually briefed it there. But we can just get the Baron here and it should be fun. I've been missing my Rs. My Rs were so clean at the beginning, but we're just missing it. But that just shows you once you kind of like over calculate on things, you easily can miss, which can be something easy to hit. I think I could solo him here with my support, yes. But I don't really want to fight unless I see an easy chance. So. I think someone will face check here, which is good. I want Senna to be here. Senna buffing me up while I kill them all is going to be really nice. Good R to engage here, but I think this guy's showing. Good ulti by D. Hey, buddy, what are you doing, man? No! Otter. Alright, GG. My ulti, if it can be blocked by like someone else being behind it. So if you cast your R and there's someone else behind you who you hit, it'll go on the furthest person who's behind. I hope you guys like that video. Be sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already. I love this champion. She's really fun to play, so I'm going to be making a lot of videos on her. And I actually do believe she's a really good jungler.